Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Megan, and today I just wanted to talk about getting to the root cause of your dizziness, be it PPPD, vestibular migraine, or MDDS. Vestibular migraine I include because it is also a nervous system disorder. Even though obviously there are other factors to it, such as genes and biology, doesn't mean there's no root cause. Some doctors who only go by the mainstream media will try to tell you that there's no root cause and there's no cure for your vestibular migraine. Even migraine disorder without the vestibular component, they claim that there's no root cause. But you know what? It actually says they don't know the root cause. It doesn't say there isn't one. Okay, so please bear that in mind. You don't have vestibular migraine for no reason. That is just not the case. There is always a reason. And why is it that some people have the genes for vestibular migraine, but it never gets triggered? And for others, it does get triggered. There's obviously a reason. So I really want you to bear that in mind just for now, that there is hope for you. If you have vestibular migraine as well, you can 100% get back to no symptoms. And in my opinion, because I'm quite spiritual, I use the law of attraction, I use the body's amazing ability to heal itself. You can get back to having no migraine disorder, in my opinion. In Dr. Yonit's opinion, the steady coach, she believes the same thing. There are many, many people out there who have recovered from vestibular migraine completely. So I just wanted to get that message out there to start this video off. But the main message of this video today is going to be getting to the emotional root cause of why you have PPPD and or MDDS. So if you are like me and your dizziness came on through a buildup of stress, or a panic attack, something like that, something only purely emotional, and there wasn't BPPV or another vestibular event, I will get to that in a second. But if your dizziness came on purely from emotional stress, then this is even more of an indicator that you need to work on the underlying emotions. So I just want you to think about this for a second. Have there been any emotional times in your life, periods of stress, trauma even from childhood or recent past? Has there been any big emotional events that have happened to you? Write them all down. List how they made you feel and see if there are any patterns that crop up. The emotion that crops up the most is probably the one we need to work on. For example, some traumatic events from your life may have made you feel unworthy of love, not good enough, guilty, angry, depressed, sad, anxious, but more often than not, we actually see a pattern emerge because I believe we create our reality. We continue to put messages out there, and I'm not saying that to blame you in any way. It's not your fault. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that you have adapted to these emotional stresses with fear. You've adapted through fear, basically. And now the personality you are now is, a mixture of all of that. And it's just trying to get through the day without having to deal with any of the other emotional stuff that got you there. I want you to think about it like this. Every time your dizziness is triggered, think of it like that part of you that's traumatized is trying to keep you safe from any further pain. And this is genuinely true for so many people with neural circuit dizziness. So those of you whose dizziness came on after a vestibular event, like an ear infection or labyrinthitis, maybe you had BPPV as well, there is a reason why it's continued for this long. And usually the reason is your nervous system. So it responds to the dizziness with fear. Obviously, that's a natural response. When you have BPPV especially, it's terrifying because literally the whole world is spinning and it's awful and your brain just wants to sit down and figure out what the hell just happened. But why is it that people's brains don't go back to normal? What is it? What is it that's stopping it? And more often than not, it's because the brain has not learned how to go back to normal because we've been focused on it so much, we've been terrified of it so much, and now the brain is making this error in its prediction. It does not mean that there's anything seriously wrong with your inner ears or brain or anything. It's just that it's making a mistake because you are stuck in fight or flight mode. And I know this is so hard to understand and so hard to hear because it means that you are now the one who has to kind of reverse all of this. You're now the one in charge of your healing journey. And that can feel really scary, but it's actually really empowering because now you know exactly what's going on. You know the answer. Obviously, I'm saying this if you have complete medical clearance, there's nothing wrong with you. All the tests point to neural circuit dizziness. So my main message for this is that there is a reason why your brain is not adapting, because the brain can heal itself. You know, that's the whole thing. That's the whole purpose. When we're dizzy, it goes back to normal. That's just a fact. So what is it that's keeping it from adapting? Why are we still dizzy? Well, first of all, there's the panic element, which is totally natural. You know, we hate being dizzy. It's awful. I understand. I totally understand. It's also our attention to it, our expectations of it, and our responses to the dizziness. All of these things keep the dizziness from going. Because when we focus on it with all our attention, we analyze every single symptom, we are just basically turning up the volume dial. It's like shining a torch right at it and being like, why are you the way you are? You know, it's not going to go away like that at all. It's in fact going to get more intense because the brain thinks that you really want to focus on it. For example, have you ever noticed that you had a cut on your finger and it only starts to hurt once you notice it? And then once you put more and more focus on it, it just hurts more and more. That's because your brain is sending those neural pathways to that finger, telling it to increase the pain because you're focused on it. I hope this makes sense to you, and I really don't want you to think that you're to blame, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get you to understand that you have the power to change this, because your brain is not in charge anymore. It's making a mistake and you can correct it. And the emotional causes might not have an effect for everybody. You know, it might not be childhood trauma or teen trauma that has got you to this point, but it might be for some people. And for those people, I think it's necessary to go back and look at it, look at what patterns crop up. What do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about healing? Do you believe that you genuinely deserve to be well? Because I have had health anxiety my whole adult life, and I did some very deep soul searching throughout my healing journey, and I realized a few patterns that cropped up. I realized that I didn't think I was worthy of being healthy. You know, I always had to worry about something. I've been worried about my health for years, and here we go, there's something else for me to worry about and something else for me to worry about. Health anxiety is a freaking nightmare for me. Not so much anymore, but it still affects me. The other week, I found something wrong with my body and I went to get it checked, and the test didn't really reassure me like it should have. You know, it's just that constant state of hypervigilance, hyperfixation, fear, and it really affects healing. So if you are like that with your dizziness, I was too, but you are actually inviting it just to stay longer. We really have to get to those emotional causes and realize, what do I actually believe? Do I believe that I can get better? Do I believe that I have neural circuit dizziness, or do I believe that I'll never recover? There's no cure, there's no root cause, I'm doomed. So if you haven't already, I really advise you to try the exercise I mentioned earlier. Write down some events that have happened to you throughout your life and go through them one by one, feel the emotions of it. You know, if you've already done this, then wonderful. But a lot of people have actually never let themselves cry or be sad or actually feel anything because they're too afraid of it. You know, it's too painful. And usually, if that's the case, then the dizziness might come on when you try and go for that. When you try and talk about your trauma, the dizziness might increase. And that's, again, a huge sign that it's neural circuit dizziness. And you can start to think of the dizziness like your protector. It doesn't want you to go for that emotional stuff, because then you have to actually feel it and work through it. But, you know, if it gives you dizziness, then you'll forget about that and focus on the dizziness instead. Think of your dizziness like a little trickster, you know? It's like, oh, no, I don't want you to focus on that. Look over here. Hey, look at me. You know, that's literally what it's doing. So I really hope that made sense to you. I just wanted to let you know that there is hope for healing. And it's really important for many people to go back through their emotional history and see what comes up. Just try it once and see what you feel. Because I guarantee you there's some things that will surprise you. And just quickly before I wrap this video up, I wanted to let everyone know that I am working on a free PPPD masterclass, just a beginner's guide. It will be a downloadable PDF that you can just scroll through at your own pleasure, and that will be ready hopefully by next month. I am putting a lot of effort into this, so I really hope it will help you all. One last thing before I go, guys, I just want to ask you all to follow my Instagram account, because I am so much more active on Instagram. I post pretty much every single day. I also have stories all the time where I answer people's questions, and I'll be posting updates about the free course and other courses I will be creating in the future. I am currently working on 3 different courses. So one is the free masterclass, and 2 others will be a law of attraction course, and the other will be a neuroplasticity course. And these will be a paid resource because I am working so hard on them, and I really think I can help you guys recover with them. I mean, I am so excited about it. So if you're interested in any of that, please let me know. But yes, please follow my Instagram. The link is in the description, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.